operating radio telescope facility. Regional universities such as USQ would benefit immensely in their active space and astronomy research. I told you this bloke tested with some of these big words. If there was a radio telescope built somewhere in southern Queensland. Time for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The case for a radio telescope. Please welcome the one and only David Fredericks.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Last Saturday, the Australian Space Agency signed a letter of intent with NASA in that the Australian government is now going to cooperate with the American NASA space program to put another man back on the moon, and also the first woman on the moon in the Artemis project, which is starting by the mid-2020s. So Australia's going to play a role in providing some of the technology for this great mission. This is the Parkes Radio Telescope, also known as the Dish, in New South Wales. How many of you have seen the Dish? So most of you are familiar with the Parkes telescope. This is a radio telescope. So as you can see, they are huge. They're not like a normal telescope. They're actually quite big. This one's got, I think, a diameter of about 50 metres on it. But the idea of a radio telescope is it acts as an antenna so that it picks up radio waves from space and focuses them onto a receiver up the top there, which then transmits the radio signals to electronics that pick up and measure those signals from other galaxies and stars. So how many of you have heard of electromagnetic radiation? Anyone? Okay, most of you are familiar with that. So electromagnetic radiation travels in waves. They all travel at a constant speed, the speed of light, which is 300,000 kilometres per second. Now, on Earth's scale, that is quite fast. You can get to the moon in 1 second. But on an astronomical scale, it is extremely slow because the distances in space are so vast, it takes years for light to come from other stars. In fact, the nearest star apart from our Sun is over 4.2 light years away, meaning that it takes light travelling at that speed 4.2 years to reach the Earth from that star. So when we look into space, we're seeing light that came from a very long time ago. We're looking at history. And some galaxies that radio telescopes can pick up are billions of light years away. So it's a very long distance in the past. So this is what in a diagram of electromagnetic wave. As you can see, they all travel in a straight line, and they have an electric component, like an electric field, and a magnetic part component, which a magnetic field at right angles to that as it travels along. So that's basically what electromagnetic wave looks like. It's an electric field combined with a magnetic field that's at right angles to the electric field. And it travels in a direction, always in a straight line. So these waves have, or also known as electromagnetic radiation, has a huge spectrum of frequencies and wavelengths. So the shorter wavelengths have high frequency. They also have higher energy. So when a wave is has high frequency and short and high energy, it means that they can be quite dangerous. So the gamma rays and X-rays, the gamma rays are the longest. In fact, cosmic rays are even longer than gamma rays. They're about 10,000 times more powerful than gamma rays. But gamma rays are found in things like nuclear radiation, things like that, in that they're hazardous to cellular life. But as we increase the wavelength, we go into the ultraviolet, the visible spectrum, which is only a very small part of the total electromagnetic spectrum. We've got infrared, microwaves and radio waves. But it's the radio waves, we're concentrating on radio astronomy. We also have visible light we look at. But why do we only focus on those two radiations, radio and visible? Well, because not all wavelengths make it through the Earth's atmosphere. You can see there's a thing called atmospheric opacity, which means that certain wavelengths of radiation are blocked as they travel through the atmosphere. So things like gamma rays, X-rays and ultraviolet is blocked by the upper atmosphere. So the best way to study that is to send a probe into space to study them. But what we can see from the ground are basically visible light, and further longer in the spectrum, past the infrared, in the radio waves from about 1 millimetre to 10 metres in length. Longer radio waves, the ones that are very long, that more than 10 metres, they're actually blocked with atmosphere too. So there is quite a large spectrum of radio waves you can pick up from the radio telescope. So this is a picture taken from a radio telescope of the radio sky at a certain frequency. It's on 23 gigahertz. So you can see here, this is a picture of the Milky Way galaxy taken from a radio telescope. So you can see all the colours and the spots where certain radio sources are coming from. So the USQ, they have their Mount Kent Observatory at Mount Kent, and they only study visible light from the night sky. But I think that university would benefit much in their space and astronomy research if there was a radio telescope also built in southern Queensland, so that we can study more parts of the spectrum, not just the light spectrum. Because, I mean, the electromagnetic spectrum is so huge, and we're only concentrating on a very tiny part of it. We're missing out a lot of information we can receive about the universe by not studying other wavelengths. So I think USQ would benefit greatly if the government built a radio telescope somewhere in southern Queensland. Sometimes you can put radio telescopes together in an array, so you've got a whole heap of them together over a wider area, and that way you increase your aperture, the size of, that's how much resolution you can get from picking up radio signals, and you can put them together electronically to actually measure farther away sources of radio waves. But all up, I think it's a tragedy that the Australian government has not invested in a radio telescope in Queensland. We are the only Australian state that does not have a facility of such. So I think something like Parkes would be great up here in southern Queensland that the university could use. Mr. Toastmaster.
Very interesting information, David. Thank you for sharing that with us. And now, the time for that speech, Margaret, was?
Was 7:43.
7 minutes